Hey everybody, Nishidar here, and it has been a while since my last video. I've been busy with life, so sorry about that, but I'm gonna try and post videos, to post more videos more frequently. Um, see the video, like it, share it, whatever, you know. Subscribe too. I know a lot of people put a lot of stuff in there. I just want you to see my videos and see my progression. But yeah, so do that if you so choose. It'd help. Want to help other people and explain my beliefs and my evolution throughout the days, weeks, months, and years. I want to be like, so back, when I get older or whatnot, look back and like, damn, I remember when I was this young. Damn, I look good and I'm all old and gray and shit. Anyway, let's get to the topic. So this video is from Wiccan to Pagan. Saying that because I am right now currently thinking about changing my faith from being a Wiccan to calling myself a general pagan. I don't like sitting down here. Anyway, um, so I just wanted to um, talk about some issues that I'm having and some things that make me want to change my faith. Some of these are minor, some of them are major, but I'm not gonna outline each and every issue that I'm having with the faith. I'm just gonna talk about primary issues that I'm having and cover those. So it's not a lot. I'm not gonna go nitpicking, but if I have an issue with something, I'm gonna bring it up. But I'm gonna try and keep it short, maybe just in two parts. So I have a part one and a part two. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, first issue um, is the matriarchal leaning within Wicca. Now, this issue is that when you go into patriarchal religions, specifically Christianity, because I came from Christianity, so that's my first association with it. There's a primary focus on a male deity, on the god, on not the god, on God, and there's a suppression of women, both religiously, and on a personal basis. There's a suppression of women. But when you go to Wicca, it reverses. So now instead of the male aspect being seen as more important or held to a higher standard, from the male being held to a higher standard, now you have the females being held to a high standard, and males overall, not on a personal basis or on a gender basis, but since Christianity is monotheistic, then of course it's not going to be male, female, god, and goddess. But when you get into Wicca, which is duotheistic, believes in a god and goddess, there's this, you're able to see it in better and clearer view, because you almost never hear about the god. Like, really, I made a video dedicated to the god. I believe it's triple god, triple goddess, I forget, where I talked about the god aspect that I worship in my personal practice. But in Wicca, it's just a reverse. People claiming that I don't like that people claim how Wicca is so good and so much better, when if you think about it, it's just the same as Christianity. It's just not as powerful and not as suppressive. Because now it's like the female is more worshipped, the male is neglected heavily, and I believe this is a vital flaw within Wicca, because it's not focusing on a balance. It's not focusing on, looking at both sides of the coin. It's just looking at one side, claiming it's better, and then leaving the other side on its own to just do as it may. And it's this imbalance that I believe that it hinders more than helps the person, any practitioner, and the faith in general, because it's not addressing an aspect of the divine, of nature, that should be addressed. And because of that, and the fact that which is understandable, most people coming from a Christian faith, and they see the God, they automatically think of the Christian God. But that's unfair to the God in general, because that's just saying, that's like you're holding something against a current girlfriend or boyfriend because of your past relationship. Well, just like in a relationship, your previous faith has nothing to do with your current faith. It's why you're in the current faith, but you shouldn't hold it against any kind of divine figure or whatever just because you had a bad experience with a deity within a previous faith, because that's, you shouldn't hold such a grudge. You should be able to just let that go and be able to flourish by focusing on all aspects to seek a balance so that you can actually be aware of the diversity within Wicca itself. And this is an issue that I'm having, and that's just something that I really think should be addressed in Wicca, but I know it's not anytime near now. Maybe in the future. Of course in the future, but right now I just don't see it. But it's something that is just such an obvious flaw. I don't understand why there aren't more people focusing on it, because as far as I can tell, there really aren't. Especially in Wicca, it's more goddess oriented than anything because of Christianity. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me. It might make sense to someone else, but I don't. No, I don't see it. It's such an imbalance. Excuse me. And it's just the same thing. It's the same issue of deity suppression or gender suppression, as in the patriarchy. You got the same as the matriarchy. There are a lot of people like feminists, not in all cases, but in many cases that I've seen, where they say down with the patriarchy and up with the matriarchy, or not overall feminism. So I don't want to try and give the wrong impression of feminism, but there are many who claim to be feminists who, instead of wanting equal treatment and equal rights for women, so that there'll be an uh, exact equality. It's like you're trying to up yourself by downing the gender that you're claiming is suppressing you. Yet you're suppressing them and claiming that you're the victim. This isn't all of feminism, but I can see it specifically within some people who claim to be feminists, not within the title, but the people who claim the title. So it's just the same exact thing, just with a different face. Now, another issue that I'm having is something that I call the green hypocrisy. It's this thing where there are plenty of Wiccans, since Wicca is nature-oriented, who claim that they love the earth so much and they want to preserve it, yet by their day-to-day practices, they're not living up to the ethical, environmental codes of the faith. I mean, how can you claim that you love nature so much, yet you don't do much of anything? You don't do as much as the next person does, as far as transportation wise, trying to reduce your carbon footprint. Now, I'm not saying that no one does it, but there are a lot of people who claim the faith, yet they don't practice its teachings. Now, of course, people are going to say, Dishadara, what are you doing? Well, personally, I don't eat like fast food and all that. Don't eat fast food. On occasion, like if I have no other choice, then I will. But I mean, I have to have no other choice but to eat that. And sometimes, the case may arise where, like if I'm out of town and I'm going somewhere, that's the only time I'll be able to eat until I get to my destination. And I'm not going to sit in a car for 8 hours not eating, because, I mean, sometimes, certain circumstances you just have to. But it's different when you have no other choice, then you're just eating fast food a lot. And the issue with fast food is that the abuse of animals and all that. You get that for many American corporations, but overall, like it's especially heavy in the fast food industry. But now I want to strike a difference. There's a difference between those who have no other choice because of financial reasons or family reasons why they can't, where they don't have the ability to eat healthier foods or foods that are better to the environment, and those who can do it but don't do it. I don't have an issue with those, like me personally and other people like me. I live with someone. I don't have the money to go out I don't have the money right now to be on my own. So I have to live with my parents. So because of that, they buy the food until, I start getting paid more and whatnot. So, once I start getting my own money, of course I'll buy my own foods and whatnot. But as of right now, at this very moment, I don't have any choice but to eat foods that aren't good for the environment as a whole. So those people I don't have an issue with. But if you can do something and don't do something, why do you claim the faith? That's like saying, I'm for equality, yet I have an issue with allowing gays to marry. It's bullshit. But I'm not calling it the faith bullshit because of it. I'm just calling bullshit on those who claim it, yet don't practice its teachings. I just want to make that clear. I don't want to get any unnecessary, messages or comments on reblogs because of that. The next issue that I want to address is the inner and outer court. Now, this is the belief of the initiate and the uninitiate, those who follow traditional practices by those who founded the faith, and those who claim the title of Wicca, and they still live within the boundaries of the faith. It's just that they don't have a group that they're a part of and just live their faith as they will it. Now, the issue that I have with this, overall, it's a non-issue. If you want to be in a group, you can be in a group. But the issue is that it sets the stage for an us versus them mentality, where it's like, it's those who are initiated. It's specifically those who are initiated and uninitiated. I don't care if you follow the traditional practices or untraditional practices. Make the practice as you go. It's just with the initiated and uninitiated that I'm having an issue. Me personally, I've been attacked plenty of times by those who claim that somehow I am not Wiccan enough because I'm not part of a group. Or most people actually don't have the luxury of being part of a group because the faith itself, first, is so new that not a lot of people are going to adopt it in the first place, especially here in America. And the fact that, besides it being so new, it's not catching on. Like, overall, because, this is still a stronghold of the Christian faith, and, and it's more established and has better, caught on better with the population. So that's why. But most people don't have that luxury. And I just think it sets that boundary, that line, where someone could just demean someone because they aren't initiated and choose to follow the practices that aren't traditional to the faith. It's different from those who first created it. They just branch off into their own little thing and just do their own little thing. And overall, that isn't a problem. But I just think that it sets it just what's the word? Okay, I can't think of the word right now. But it sets the stage and it creates that boundary, and it just makes things so that it's one set of people are valued more than another. And I believe that's just wrong, and I don't like it because there's a lot of harassment that I had to go through personally. And I was in a relationship with another person who was pagan, and they harassed me because I wasn't initiated, and like, it's not even that big a deal. Like, saying people wouldn't claim that, wouldn't say that I'm Wiccan because I haven't been initiated. So the fuck what? The primary thing with Wicca is not being in a group. It's communing with nature. It's seeing deity in all things within all of nature and living in accordance with it, so that both the practitioner and the world itself will be a better place and be more respected and better cared for. But some people, their priorities aren't straight. This is the general issue that I'm having. So I cover the matriarchy, green hypocrisy, and the inner versus outer court. So I'm running a little low on time. It's almost 15, and my limit, I think, is like 20. So right now I'm just gonna cut it a little short. But inner versus outer court, that's an issue that really makes me not want to be of the faith. That the matriarchal leaning, I just see as a primary flaw within the faith. It's just right there. It's like set in stone because of the faith. And it's just an imbalance. The green hypocrisy, it makes me doubtful of the practitioners. Like I said, if you don't have the financial resources, that's one thing. But if you have the financial resources, you can do it if you choose to, but you just don't do it. That's another thing. So I wanted to cover those. I'm gonna probably it's probably gonna be in 3 parts. I'm gonna try and pick up the pace with my speak. But right now, those are the 3 issues that I have: the matriarchal leaning, the green hypocrisy, and the inner versus outer court. Now, in the next video, I'll be covering some more and in greater detail and with greater speed. So I just want to go ahead and let you guys know that right now. So this is part one of from Wiccan to Pagan. And this is Dishadar here. Please subscribe. Please share this with your friends. Rate it, like it, all that good stuff. Because I want to try and grow my audience. So I'm really new. This channel is quite new, like a month or two old. But I'd like to get my beliefs and stuff out there, just so other people can see a different point of view. So thanks for watching. Bye.